Yeah, hi, my friend. Welcome back to Cat Ninjas. Welcome back to Cat Ninjas. I hope you are enjoying this particular series, and we are here with the second lecture on DILR celebration series. Right? Let's explore another concept today. So we are kind of like in the first one we did a quant-based reasoning. This also we kind of do a quant-based reasoning. Beautiful set. This kind of logic has come in CAT, ZAT, IIFT kind of exam. So let's try and take a look at this particular set. And before we start, let me quickly tell you that yes, you may be going through the celebration season at the same time. So let's make sure that you also kind of devote some time towards your CAT and CAT preparation, right? Because as we kickstart into the exam season, so it would be wise to balance some time between your uh, festive season and also your exam season, right? We have two seasons coming up, festive as well as exam. So it would be nice because the Diwali comes, Dashera, then Diwali. All right, now it's kind of a festive season in India. At the same time, it is an entrance exam season as well. Let's not forget that fact, and it's very important for us, right? Yeah. So let me quickly introduce myself. So I am Belvi Srinivas. I've been working in this industry since 2007. That's about 14 years now. Yes, in the 14 years, I worked in various capacities in this industry. I contributed towards management, in the sense like with respect to the course designs, and then also on the training of the students, the training the trainers. So this is what I kind of did in that 14 years. And yes, I did develop very good skills in training the students, especially in the area of QA, DILR, from the perspective of CAT, that, and IIFT exams, right? So that briefly about me. Yes, in addition to that, yes, I also counsel students overall, including VA, RC. So if you're looking at short counseling or short discussions, short suggestions, quick suggestions, you can join this particular Telegram group. And you can also post some of your doubts from the videos that I'm doing or the lectures that we are doing. And not only I, but there are about few other students who are active on the Telegram group who respond to some of your academic queries with respect to the doubts, etc. Right? Okay, so that's how we can interface and co-travel together. That's a little bit of background about how we can do these sections together. Well, so let me introduce the two subscription plans that Unacademy has. One of them we call it as Plus. The other one is Star, nothing but iconic. Yeah. So on the Plus, you get the structured courses. Different educators. There are 3-4 dozen educators who offer various kind of courses in VA, RC, QA, DI, LR at various difficulty levels based on the needs of the students, because there are all types of learners, all type of ambitions, so all types of goals. Therefore, there are different kind of programs which are designed. We call them as batches out here. So you can take a look at, if you have a subscription plan, you will get access to all kind of structured courses. You can pick and choose, and you can do those courses which will take you from skill X to skill Y, or at level X of skill to level Y of skill. Yeah, that's what we mean by the structured courses. Also, you get a part of study material, and you get weekly tests, which are very, very essential for us. And not only the live classes, you will also get unlimited access to some of the recorded lectures as well, so which occurred during that period, just before, after, all of which. Right. So what is Iconic? Iconic is an addition to all these structured courses. You also get an exposure. In fact, not an exposure. You also get the privilege to speak to the mentors of your choice. You can set up one-to-one meeting, and meeting to discuss what? Meeting to discuss about your preparatory plans, because all our SWOTs could be different. The way you get your score of 99 percentile could be very different from the way I get my score of 99 percentile. It's not one size fits all, right? So therefore, based on our own SWOTs, so how well we can do it, we can seek some guidance based on that. And we can you can look at like some of the concept doubts. It could be with respect to the concepts you want to discuss a particular concept with the faculty because you are not clear. It could be from probability, it could be from reading comprehension, it could be from verbal ability, whatever it could be, right? That's one. And also you can discuss the doubts from certain topics. As you can set up a meeting and you can discuss them. More importantly, You can also look at your form filling validation. So you fill a form of some of the top B schools, might require a quick validation from one of the person who understands that, because every word that goes in there on that particular form, B school form, matters, right? So therefore, so maybe you can use these one-to-one meetings for validation purpose, or to seek some suggestions on how to address some of the interview based questions, because once you complete your written test, you are going into another phase where it is interviews play a very very important role as to how you impress or make a proper impression based on your profile to the professor, right? So these are some of the things, all right, that you can set up meeting and you can discuss. Yes, that's what iconic, these are the benefits like iconic. Yes, there's some of the courses that are set to launch. So if you are a cat to cmat 22 or CAT 22, you can take a look at some of these courses. There will be a brief videos about these courses the educators would have made and put it on the portal. So you can kind of take a look at this. And yes, so last mile CAT 21, it should be a fantastic course. You can take a look at this. Some of the very good educators have launched this particular course. You can, if you're looking at the last leg of your prep, probably this is one of the courses that might come handy. Not only this, there is one 2 month short course which is also kind of launched, so which you might have seen, and that also can make quite a bit of sense during the last mile of your prep. Yes, so all this comes at a very nominal subscription price. That's about, if you're looking at a 6 month subscription per plus, about 16,000, 28,000. So all this and all these listed prices, you do get 10% discount if you use any of the educator code. That is, you can, including my code, which is Belvi 100. So Belvi 100 doesn't mean you get 100% discount. You get 10% discount on these listed prices, right? Yeah. Iconic subscription, if you're a CAT 21 students, I recommend Iconic subscription of 6 months, because you might need to set up good number of one-to-one meetings to actually give that a last mile guidance, so where you don't have to falter and make a small minor mistakes. So with respect to your admissions counselings, whatever it could be. So I would rather recommend this scheme so that you can kind of speak to the mentors every now and then and set the house in order, right? So this comes at a little premium. The prices look a little premium because you get access to speak to the mentors, but yet it would be worth that. Yeah, so I'm hoping that so all of you are taking the test very seriously. If you're a CAT 21 student, and this is a must at this point in time, leading into the last 50 days, you must consider this pretty seriously. And yes, so all those who have subscribed for Plus or Iconic subscription plans, so you would get access to two full-length tests every week, and sectional tests, also full-length test, another management entrance test, and also all this by detailed video analysis. This is what you kind of get. You don't have to buy this separately. This comes with a Plus or Iconic subscription. Fair enough. That brings us to the lecture. So this is about a brief announcements. Here we go with the lecture, what I do as again. So because I cannot give the solving time, because if I give the solving time, to be fair, because most of us are still learning, it is not that our skill sets are already acute. They're at their best or their peak. Not necessarily. For some of us, yes. For some of us, it may not be. And hence, I will not give the solving time, because if I give a solving time, I should give somewhere closer to 10 minutes. All right, to be fair, I mean, I'm not saying that it requires 10 minutes to solve, but I should give somewhere closer to that, because some of us are still learning. Therefore, it requires a little bit of extra time. So therefore, about 10 could be kind of an average time. But because of the paucity of time, I may not be able to give 10 minutes, and hence I'm limiting it to 4 minutes, right? But then what do I suggest you to do in 4 minutes is, hey, read this set. Well, not only you read both text as well as the questions, right? Questions also you kind of take a cursory look. It's important. Not only here, it's a good practice even while you are writing any of the entrance tests. Your user interface might allow you the data here. Here is where you see a data, and here is you see a question. But then you see only one question at a time. There will be a next button. There will be a previous button. Clipping the next button just to understand what kind of questions have been asked. That sets up a kind of an expectation. Then you quickly come back and figure out as to how you want to organize this particular data. in case if it requires a reorganizing. So how do you organize this particular data? And then how do you start analyzing this particular data? That's very, very important. Now, these two, once you are clear with how you want to organize it and how you want to start it, rest is just a process time. Rest becomes a kind of a process time. So this is what I want you to think in these particular 4 minutes, right? You read that, you read questions, once you're clear, kind of try and organize this particular data and figure out how you would like to start this particular entire analysis, right? So the process is probably we will do this together, right? So if you can figure out that in about 4 minutes time, process might take some time. I will brief you, I will spend enough time with you. It is not that I'm in a hurry to finish this particular set. That's never been my idea. I always spend enough time trying to give you certain guidelines, certain hints, making you solve all it, so that it kind of builds that particular skill set. If we do it in a zippy, in a hurry, it might not probably answer some of the doubts or some of the questions that you have at the back of your mind. All right, so let's not worry. Let's spend sufficient time. But then you get 4 minutes of reflection time. In this 4 minutes, I want you to pull out your pen, pull out a copy. I don't want you to be a passive observer trying to forward or trying to, while these 4 minutes are on, you try to do something on your something on some other application. No, not all of that. So we never go to gym to observe what others are doing. We go to gym to get our fitness level right. Similarly, it's our learning, it's your learning and my learning. So we need to take our pen, book and start working on this, making those running notes or some data, because you need to think of some organizing. So probably you may want to put something here and there and start all it. And then you want to mark something saying that it is where I want to start. Or you want to take a quick notes because you got to remember a few things as well. You cannot keep going back to the passage again and again. So when you read, you got to kind of remember the highlights or note down was a couple of highlights, etc. Right? Let's keep this in mind. I'm opening up the time and I'm opening up the set. Here comes your solid 4 minutes time. So in which I want you to use your good time to establish those 4 credentials that I mentioned. All right, here we go. That's your time. All the best. Keep doing. Try and check what is this data about and how you would like to organize and how do you open up, what are the thoughts that run in your mind. Go ahead, friends. It's your time. Yeah, you have 2 more minutes. Think how you want to represent the data. It's a quant-based reasoning. Last minute. Okay, all right. So if you have figured out those couple of points that I mentioned about, it's good enough. Let's process it together. Let's do this together. So here we go. So I'm, yeah, comfortable, feel comfortable. That's all right. Whatever the things that you're putting out here, that's good. Let's do this together. And of course, all right, now as you practice, I'm sure you have right kind of source material. So using that, definitely you will come across the similar kind of set, similar kind of logic. But let's examine as to when we were trying to look through this, what kind of things crossed our mind, what has happened kind of with us. That's very important there, right? Because as we read, the thoughts flow. The thoughts flow, thoughts generate, and they flow through our mind. What is that? Or what are those thoughts which kind of crossed our mind? So let's try and examine that particular point here. So when we see this, hey, it's what has happened here. So there are five dancers, D1, D2, D5. So who have contested this particular intensity dance, right? Intensity dance, whatever, some contest, and the points were given, and of course the consolidated points is what, how many judges are there, that's nothing to do with us. So points are given. Everybody got some point. Alan got, everybody, all the D1 got some point, D2 got some point. So there seems to be about six techies out here. There seems to be some six techies, and they hacked that particular system, and they could kind of get the data of these five dancers, and from there they tried to give us the data of four of the dancers at a time, four of the dancers at a time. And if they give four of the dancers at a time out of five, so there will be only five different combinations possible. Okay, let me explain that. So let me explain that first, then we will come back to this. Say for example, see, if I have D1, these are the five dancers, right? Basically 5C4. 5C4 is equal to 5, which means only five different sums are possible. At the most, five different sums are possible. Assuming that, okay, so they got some five different sums. At the most, five different sums are possible. Let's understand why only five different sums are possible. Assume that A added these fellows, right? Alan added these four scores. That's one. So which means he said that hey, D5, I'm not adding. So this is what Alan has done. So then the second person, if the scores five different scores, I said, what does the second person do? Say Brett. Let B say that I will leave D4, man. I will not add dancer 4. I will add the remaining four characters, remaining four dancers. That's what the Brett might have taken a decision. Fair enough. Okay, then comes Clark. Clark might say that hey, I will leave dancer 3. I will add the scores of the other dancers. Right, that's what Clark might have done. Then comes Dan. What Dan has done is, hey, Dan says that hey, I will leave the second dancer. Then I will add everybody else. That is what Dan might have done. It's an example. Example. Don't think that hey, is it in this particular order? No, no, I'm not saying that Dan would have given a skip to the second dancer score. No, I'm saying it's just an example to you. All right, and then finally, it might be like let's say that hey, then Erin has come. Erin said that I don't add the score of the first person, I add the scores of the rest of them. So this is what Erin might have done. So now look at this. Hey, Alan has all given a skip to dancer 5, then Brett has given a skip to dancer 4, then C has given a skip to dancer 3, D has given a skip to dancer 2, then E has given a skip to dancer 1. That's it. Now, if Fred comes there, Fred has to repeat one of them. Assume that, okay, everybody is, one person has made a mistake in adding the numbers. That's a different issue. So then let's say if Fred comes now, the Fred sum should either match with A sum. Fred sum should either match with B sum because he can't do anything differently. All right, now Fred may say that, hey, I will also leave dancer number 5. Then the sum of A and sum of Fred would remain same. If Fred says that I will drop dancer 4 score and I will add other scores, then it should be same as the Fred score. If Fred says that I will leave the dancer 3 score and add every other score, then the Fred score should match with Clark's score. If Fred says that, hey man, I will leave dancer 2 and add every other score, then the Fred score should match with the Don's score, right? If the Fred Lee says that, hey, I will leave the dancer 1 score and add others, then it should match with Erin's score, right? This is what should happen technically, and hence there should be only 5 different numbers. There is no scope for 6 different sums possible. At the most, 5 different sums are possible. That's the first thing that crosses your mind. What is that I'm trying to say? Hey, first thing, the moment you read this, hey, everybody is adding only 4 numbers, which implies what? All in the 4 numbers implies, hey, 5C4 sums are possible. 5C4 sums are possible. That's the first thought that kind of gets into your mind. Assume that for the time being, Fred has added it wrong. Fred has added 250. Fred says that the sum of the 4 numbers is 250. It is wrong. All right, I don't know which dancer he left. Let's assume that the Fred added it wrong. And let's assume for the time being that A left dancer 5, B left the score of dancer 4, something like that. It doesn't matter which scores they left. They would have left different scores. Assume that A, B, C, D, E added the correct score. F is the one who added the wrong score. Assume, just assume. In that case, if I just add up A, B, all right, if I add up the total scores of totals of A, B, C, D, and E. Yeah, what is A's total here? 220. I mean, all these numbers put together 220. What has B reported? 260. Here I'm just checking 260. 260 is sum of 4 numbers. I'm saying that D4 is left. I don't know whether D4 is left, who is left, I don't know. Just example, okay? So sum of 4 numbers. He said that sum of his 4 numbers are 230. He's given a skip to somebody. It doesn't matter because they have given a skip to different people. So therefore already now somebody has given a skip 230. He has given a skip to another dancer score. Therefore, D has reported 240. E has reported 230. If I add up all these particular numbers, right? If I add up these particular numbers, all right, that's becoming 1,160. All right, 1,160. That is the sum. What is this 1,160? I'm just curious about that. Hey, what is this 1,100? I'm just added these numbers. 220, I added to 260, added to this, added to this, added to this. Right, that has turned out to be 1,160. What is this 1,160 we are talking about? This 1,160 is dancer score is added by 4 people. See, A added dancer 1 score, B added dancer 1 score, C added dancer 1 score, D added dancer 1 score, which means 4 times of D1. D1 is accounted 4 times. Who all added dancer 1 score? A added dancer 1 score, B added, C added, and D added. 4 times of D1. Okay. Now, what about D2? A added D2, B also added D2, this particular score, my friends, D2, C added, and E also added that. Therefore, you are saying that 4 times of D2. Likewise, all right, likewise. You said that, hey, how many people added dancer 3 score? So again, A added dancer 3, B added, D added, E added. Technically, 4 people added. Different 4 people have added. Therefore, 4 times of D3, 4 times of D4, plus 4 times of D5. This is equal to this. And hence, I can say that, hey, this is 4 times of D1 plus D2 plus D3, D4, D5 is equal to 1160. Okay, therefore, what is D1 plus D2? Can I figure that out? Yes. D1, D2, D3, D4. Right? Therefore, you could say that D1, D3, D4, D2, D3, D4, and D5 is 1160 divided by 4. All right, now divided by 4. That's a number that I should do. Right? Okay, so that turns out to be 290. That's a 290. From here, all right, assuming that F was wrong. What did we say? Hey, F added it wrong. It's an assumption. F added it wrong. And this is what the total score is. Total score of D1 to D5 is 290. Can I find the value of D1 if I get to know about this, right? Will I be able to find the value? All right, will I be able to, I will not know who is D1, who is D2. Will I be able to get all 5 scores? Yes. How do I get it? Now go back to these numbers. one of the dancers, I don't know which is the dancer. Sum of four dancers is 220. Sum of four dancers is 220. But sum of five dancers is 290. 220 to 290. What is the gap? 70. Which means one of the dancers has scored 70. Call it one of the dancers. I mean, let me write it as DX. One of the dancers has scored 70. Then you go to this particular number. Hey, four of the dancers is 260 here. According to Brett, so four of the dancers have scored 260 and five dancers together is 290. Therefore, you say that, hey, another dancer by name Y, D1, D2, D3, that I don't know, another dancer has scored, another dancer has scored 30 points. That is the points he has got. Similarly, I can go to this, hey, four more dancers got 230, but sum is 290. Therefore, you say that another dancer called DZ has scored the remaining 60 points. Likewise, I can find out right now once I have this 290 and once I know that these are the five people who got the scores right, I will get the five dancer score. Now, who is D1, who is D2, I will not know. Even if you look at the questions, author is not interested in D1, D2, D3. Let's be very clear about that point. If author is not interested, let me not worry about it. What I should be worried about, will I get to know the scores of the people or not? Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Now that's the background to this particular set. That's a background to this particular set. Now, having said this, having set up the base now, I've set up the clear base for you to understand and rock this particular case set. Just in case you did not, let me repeat. So what did we do here? We looked at this. I said that, hey, so only five distinct. The moment you read this particular set, what comes into your mind is 5C4, which means only five, at most five distinct scores are possible, but distinct sum of scores are possible. But here I'm getting five, six of them. So therefore, one of them is necessarily wrong. Somebody has made a mistake, on which the author has already said. However, one of them made a mistake in adding the scores. We know that because there are only five distinct scores possible, taking four at a time. There are five contestants and we are giving the sum of the scores of four people at a time. Therefore, it is 5C4. Five distinct scores are possible, but I have six scores out here, and therefore one of them is redundant, and that score which is redundant is a mistake. That is what author has been saying. So that is the first thing that crosses our mind. The second thing is, hey, what is solid now? Therefore, how do I get to know about the scores? If I assume that one of the persons is wrong, in this case, I assume that F is wrong, right? Fred is wrong. If Fred is wrong, others are right, will I be able to get to know the five scores? I may not associate who is D1, D2, D3, but will I get to know which are the five scores of the contestants? Yes, we will be getting to know. That is what I explained it out here. That is what I explained out here. If you understand that these five scores are correct, all of these A, B, C, D, E are correct, so then you can add up those particular numbers. When you add up those particular numbers, each dancer score will be added four times. Four times of D1, four times of D2, etc. That's what you kind of do. And you divide that. All right, therefore, now you divide that by four and say that, hey, sum of five dancers is this. Then you say that, hey, you go back to the matrix. You go back to the matrix and say four dancers is 220, but five dancers is 290. One of the dancers score you get. Then again, you go to the next number. Four of the dancers is 260. Therefore, you get one different next dancer's number because each one of them have given a skip to one of the dancers. That skip dancer number is what I'm going to get. Now that's the background. Now I will here pause for 3 minutes. I will pause here for 3 minutes. Will you now go to the next level? Take a look at the questions. Let's take a look at the questions. Now you need the analysis at the next level. This is the hint. This is the background. Right? I already set up the background. Take 3 minutes now. Try and extend this particular process. Right? I will pause here for 3 minutes. I really want you to push yourself. Having said already know this particular data, take this particular data and proceed further. 3 minutes. Think about it clearly and proceed further. All right, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. It's your time. It's your time of 3 minutes. Your time of 3 minutes. Why don't you guys think and proceed from here? Yeah, proceed means what do you do next to answer these questions? That's my point. What do we do next so that we will be able to answer the questions? Use time, use time. Another half minute, 30 seconds. You don't have to complete, but if you've got some head start, it is good. Okay, all right. It's time. Let's again regroup. Let's do that together. It's fine. It's fine. So I know that okay, you might be almost about to complete it or kind of already kind of concluded it, right? Yeah. So let's kind of do it. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Otherwise, I'm afraid that we might run out of time, right? So we might extend quite a bit of that time. So this is kind of all it. I'll put this data into perspective, something like this. So all these scores we know, hey, A, he added four numbers, four of the five contestant numbers. He got it as 220. B got it as 260. C got it as 230. D got it as 240. E got it as this and this. So I made six cases here. I made six cases here. Okay, point is, should I really write A 220, B 260? Is this the way to organize it or no? Find it your way. Technically, you put a grid and you kind of come across about 5 to 6 cases in your mind. No doubt about that, right? So these are the six cases that hop in your mind. Six cases would come into your mind: C1, C2. What is the first case? First case is Fred got it wrong. That's a point. If Fred got it wrong, then you are trying to say that, hey, A got it right, B got it right, C got it right, D got it right, E got it right. If all these people got it right, add the numbers, it will become 1160. That is 220, 260, 230, 240, 210, and 250. Add these particular numbers together, it becomes 1160, which I already kind of explained it to you. Fred got it wrong. That's it, right? Now I'm not doing at the dancer level. What I did in the previous slide is I explained it at the dancer level, right? At the dancer's level. What has happened? Assuming Fred got it wrong, how we got this 1160? From this 1160, how did I go on to 290? That is what I kind of explained there, to say that, hey, you just have to add the numbers and divide by 4, because there is always going to be four types of dancer, four times of dancer, one dancer, two, kind of. That is what I just explained this at the micro level. But I don't have to get into the micro level. I have to resolve this issue at the macro level, right? That's what, because questions are at the macro level, they are not at the micro level out here. Fair enough. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. Therefore, you got 1160. What did you do with this 1160? 1160 divided by 4, which has become 290. Good. All right. Let's go to the next one. Similarly, all right, here I am saying that second case. What is the case 2? Case 2, E got it wrong. Case 1, F got it wrong. Case 2, E got it wrong, which means E got it wrong. Leave his score. Leave this score 210. Add up the other scores. When I add up the other scores, they all turn to be 1200. 1200 divided by 4. A why 4? Just like I explained in the previous slide, every number would get, every dancer get accounted for 4 times. The value, the score of every dancer would be accounted 4 times. Therefore, divide by 4, so it becomes 300. Fair enough. The next one I left it blank. I left it blank. Hey, why did I leave this blank here? Right. So that's a thing here, right? So why did I leave it blank? Because if I divide this by 4, it will become 292.5. This is what it is becoming. It is becoming 292.5. Okay, so why should I leave? Because it's given. The score of each contestant is an integral value. It is an integer. Last sentence, very last sentence clearly says it's an integer. If you say that, man, the total, when I divide this by 4, it has become 292.5. So when I subtract 220, because 4 of the dancers, 5 dancers is 292.5. 4 of the 5 dancers adds up to 220. Then you say that, hey, one of the dancers, whoever is that, dx, right? One of the dancers, you are saying that, hey, that's nothing but 72.5. No, it's not allowed, right? That's not allowed. Therefore, I left that blank. Therefore, I left that blank, because when I divide by 4, it's turning out to be it's turning out to be a fractional value, right? So there is a mixed fraction, basically. Fair enough. So C4, decimal number, basically, right? Yeah. C4 295, that's all right. So now you understood what is that, what do you mean by C4? C4, I meant that, hey, I'm giving a skip to C. All right, I'm giving a skip to the character called as C. I give a skip to that character, add up every other number. When I add up every other number, I get 1180. Divide this by 4, it results in 295. I'm leaving the other two. I'm leaving it here. I'm not, because when I divide this particular number by 4, right? This particular number by 4, all right, that's becoming 275.5, right? Something like that. That's what it is becoming there, right? Therefore, it doesn't make sense. All right, it does. Sorry, to what did I say here? It's a decimal number. Last two digits not divisible by 4. Last two digits. 50 is not divisible by 4. 90 is not divisible by 4. Just looking because why I have to divide by 4. What is the divisibility rule for 4? Last two digits. I just looked at the last two digits are 50 and 90. Leave it. So therefore they are going to be fractions, and hence we left those two numbers in hand, which implies that three people have the choice of making a mistake. What is that? So one case you are trying to say that F might have made a mistake, case one. Well, let's look at the case one. Who might have made a mistake? F might have made a mistake, and then therefore the total of all five people turns out to be an integer. Thereby, every person's score turns out to be an integer. Okay, that's case one. Case two is possible that he might have committed a mistake in the sum. That's what you are trying to say. There are three people who might have committed a mistake in the sum, all right, while adding those four numbers, right? So he might have committed a mistake. If he has committed a mistake, then the sum is going to be 300, right? The total of D1 to D5, five dancers is going to be 300. From there, I can find out every dancer's figure. All right, that's the second parameter. Third one is C might have committed a mistake. C might have committed a mistake. Then the sum of five dancers is the sum of the points of five dancers is 295. From there, I can find out the sum of I can find the value, the score of each dancer. That's it. So therefore, you clearly say that D has not committed a mistake. B has not committed a mistake. A has not committed a mistake, right? So you suspect three people. It's clearly not only suspect, it's mathematically these are the only three people who might have made a mistake in adding the numbers. Therefore, F might have made a mistake, E might have made a mistake, and C might have made a mistake. Now, this is what I wanted you to conclude in that 3 minutes time, if not anything else. Now, which way you represent doesn't matter, but in that 3 minutes, this is what I wanted you to kind of conclude. Once this is concluded, questions can be answered. What is that? For every point a contestant gets, he gets 100 rupees, 100, sorry, $100 for a point, right? For $100 are awarded for each point. Now some questions are built on this. Just keep this 100 in your mind. Let's go to questions now. The chart is ready, right? Chart is ready. We know who are the three people who might have committed a mistake while adding the numbers, maybe a silly mistake or whatever. They might have made some mistake. So based on that, let's go to the questions and try and address them. Let's go to question one. What is the highest possible amount that any of the five contestants can be eligible for, right? Any of the five contestants can be eligible for. So if I go to the first case, say what is the total in the first case? 290. Right? What is the total? Total is 290. What is the best score possible? This total is correct because F has committed a mistake. Let's say F has committed a mistake. Therefore, sum of all five dancers, sum of the points scored by all five dancers is 290. All right. So then what is the best score of any dancer? Simple. Go here. All right. Now, so what are the valid numbers? 220, 260, 230, 240 and 210. Let me take 220 to start with. 220 with 290. So if I subtract 220, you say that one of the dancers by name DX has scored 70 points. 290 minus 220. Why? Four of the dancers have scored 220 and five of the dancers have scored 290. Subtracted, it becomes 70. All right. So if I go to this 260 to 290, you say that another dancer Y has scored 30. By now you would have understood it. Hey man, go to 210. Don't try to do for all of them. 210 is the smallest number. Subtract the smallest sum of four contestants so that you will get the best value for the fifth contestant. Therefore, you say that 210 to 290, you say that there is a dancer who might have got 80 points and this is the maximum. This is the maximum in the first case. So I will just directly go to the first case now. So we have directly shortlisted 210. From 210, we have arrived, we have subtracted 290 and would have said that if F has committed a mistake in the sum, if F has committed a mistake, then the best possible points by any candidate would be 290 minus 210, which is equal to 80. Right, which is equal to 80. Fair enough. You might have got that. Fine. Yeah, what if he has committed a mistake? What if he has committed a mistake? If he has committed a mistake, this score is invalid. The 210 is invalid because he has committed a mistake. This we left and then we added, we got 300. Therefore, what is the best score that is possible? Okay, I will look for the smallest number among all these ticked numbers. The smallest number is A, 220. You may say that, sir, take this 210. No, yeah, you can't take this solid. You may say that take this 210. No, I can't take the 210 because you said that he had made a mistake. If he had made a mistake, I discarded this number to generate 1200. I divided this by 4 to generate 300. Let's be very clear what was the process that we followed, right? This is out. If this is out, what is the smallest number available between these underlined numbers? Now, what is the smallest number? 220. I subtract 220 out of 300. 220 out of 300. I again get another 80. I again get another 80. This is what I get there. Fair enough, right? So this is what I get. Okay, both numbers are 80. Now let me go to the last case. Let me go to the last case here. Which is the last case? The last case is C got it wrong. Assume that C got the sum wrong. This score is out. Fair enough. The result is 295. The sum of all 5 answers is 295. I can subtract this because this is the smallest available number. So these are the underlined numbers are active numbers. So I will subtract 210. Thereby I get 85. Therefore I got 80, 80, 85. 85 is the best among these particular numbers because he is asking possible. The word is possible. What is the highest possible amount that any of the 5 contestants can be? Again, all right, possible, can be. Therefore, he's saying that, hey, I know multiple answers are possible. Figure out what best suits this particular question. 85 points is maximum possible. For every single point, they get $100. $100. 85 points implies that 85 into $100, that is $8,500. That is what is the best that the contestant could be eligible for. All right, I'm hoping that okay, you are all enjoying it. You are getting the point, right? You are getting this point. Fair enough. All right, let me go to the second question. Let's go to the second question. Why don't you guys take a minute and answer the second question? Go ahead, my friends. Here, try this. Try this. Why don't you guys take a minute and quickly answer the second question? Okay, I think by now you should have figured it out. So what is that? Hey, two of the contestants together are eligible to receive 150 $100. That is nothing but $15,000, right? So which means, say, points wise, how much? 150 points. 150 points. Sum of two contestants, right? DX. There are two dancers, X and Y. They together should have got how many points there? All right, they together should have got 150 points. 150 into 100 has become 15,000, right? 150 points. Now, Dan is anyway ruled out. That cannot be my answer. Why? Because Dan anyway did not get it wrong at all. There are only 3 characters who got it wrong, which is that F got it wrong, E got it wrong, or C got it wrong. I don't know between 3 of them who got it wrong, but between E, F, C, somebody got it wrong. Dan is not the answer. Therefore, I just have to find out, is it Clark or Erin? If both of them are not there, then I will mark the answer as none of these. All right. So now let me find out a 150 points. All right. So sum of two numbers should be equal to 150. Let me go to Clark. Let me start with the first choice. Let me go to Clark to start with. Right. Clark means this number is ruled out. This number is ruled out. Now let me get a sum of 150. Sum of the points of two of the individuals should be 150. All right. There is a 300. Sorry, Clark is what? 295. Good. 295. So let me take some larger numbers to start with. How, if it is possible? 295. I will remove 210 because Clark has got it wrong. So I will remove 210. I get 85. All right. One of the numbers, let me call it as 85. One of the numbers is 85. Fair enough. So that is 85. Then if I subtract 220, I would get 75. Sum has become already, then the sum has become 160. 240. The sum has become 160. Fair enough. But I want 150. If I want 150, I need to reduce, I need to change one of the numbers. Okay. If I remove this 220, the next best number available is 240. All right, next best available number is 240. Therefore, dx, if I keep it as 85, if I remove 240, I will get only another 55. 55. All right, which results in 140, which implies that Clark is not the one who got it wrong, because had Clark got it wrong, either 160 is possible, the next 140 is possible. I am not getting this 150, and hence Clark is not the one who got it wrong. So I just checked it. I just checked it. Is it possible to get my 150 points by adding the sum of two contestants or not? So not possible. Not possible. I got 160 or I got 140, but I'm not getting this 150. Fair enough. Let me go to Erin and figure it out. So if I are going to Erin, first cross this particular number, Erin's number, you cross it. If you are going to Erin, you cross it because you can't use that particular number. Let's be very clear on that. Okay. And what is that number I need to use it? 300 is the benchmark number. From there, I need to figure it out. All right, let's figure it out. Okay, 220 to 230, 220 to 300, 80. Fair enough. One number I got is 80. Let me take the next best number because 150 is a little larger number. Therefore, I am using the numbers appropriately so that we kind of arrive at that large number. Yeah, because no point using 250 with 300. It will give only 50, right? So from 50s, I cannot go to 150. Therefore, I'm using largest possible difference out there. That's the whole idea. Okay. Then next, I will use this 230. 230 is better. All right, 230. 230 to 300 is 70. 80 plus 70, 150. Yeah, Erin is fine. Erin is fine. All right, because if I use Erin, I'm getting a sum of points of two of the dancers as 150. That looks fine. So therefore, he is the answer, right? He is the answer for this particular question. Fair enough. Let's go to the next one now. Let's go to the next question, which is question 3. Let's do it together. Question 3. So here we are. We'll do it together. If one of the contestants is eligible for $5,000, which means 50 points. What do you mean by $5,000? 50 points. Then what is the total amount that the organizers have to give away to all the 5 contestants put together? Okay, so let's assume that F got it wrong. Let's assume that F got it wrong. Okay, F got it wrong. First, let me check. Is there a possibility of getting 50 points if F got it wrong? Okay, 290. 290 means there should be a figure of 240. F got it wrong means 250 is not allowed. Okay, 240, fine. 240 to 290. That's all right. 240 to 290, the gap is 50. So 50 points you got. So which means total points are 290. 290 are the total points means 29,000 is possible. 29,000 is possible. 290 followed by 2 zeros. That is the total amount they should give to all the contestants put together, because each point is worth $100. Therefore, 290 points. 290 points is worth 290 into 100, which is worth $29,000. So therefore, 3 is a possible answer. But I can't stop there because there is an answer called as cannot be determined. So therefore, I cannot stop. I cannot become overtly happy and say that, okay, I got it. I marked the answer and go on. Hang on. So what if E got it wrong? Let's go to the next fellow. Hey, what if E got it wrong? If E got it wrong, okay, the sum would be 300. So now this number, if E got it wrong, this is invalid. Oh yeah, 250 to 300, the gap is another 50. 250 to 300. Now in this case, you are saying that if E got it wrong, then they will be shelling out 30,000. They are shelling out 30,000, which means now I don't have to do it for C, because I already understood that already now these two premises, these two cases are already coming out true. Therefore, the actual answer is cannot be determined uniquely, because either F would have got it wrong or E would have got it wrong. Based on that, either the organizers may have to spend $29,000 or they may have to spend $30,000, and hence we say that it is cannot be determined. I'm hoping that okay, you kind of learned through this particular discussion. It was fruitful the way we kind of approached this particular set. All right, there was a micro analysis first. This was the micro portion of it, right? So dividing by 4, etc. This was a micro analysis. Once you do the micro, then you have to shift your attention to macro, because there are no questions on micro saying that how many points D1 got, how many points D2 got. That is what not author was interested. That's why I keep telling that read question. That is when you understand what kind of analysis the author would be interested in. Then you came back to this to realize that, then you came in here to realize that hey, there are 3 cases. there are three people who might have got this sum wrong. It can be F or E or C. So based on these three cases, the questions were kind of created. Wow, the very beautiful quant based set. So these are the kind of sets already you can kind of expect in CAT, that or IFT kind of papers. I'm not saying that this is the difficulty level, somewhere closer to this, something like this. We should be open to these kind of thoughts is what I'm trying to tell. All right, that kind of brings us to the closure of our discussion. Let me quickly tell you what is in store for us in the coming days. In the coming days, yes, right. So we will continue doing this series, celebration series, for about 3 days here. I'm hoping all of you will definitely enjoy and you definitely learn. So between all your celebration, take some time for celebration series also, and have fun with this particular series. Let's enjoy this. Right. I'm also launching batch for especially for IIFT algebra, because there are three important or impactful topics which kind of IIFT repeatedly ask. That is about the equations. Or when I meant equation, it is not trying to solve a quadratic equation, etc. There is little beyond that. Of course, these lectures would help for CAT and XAT prep as well. May not be for NMAT and SNAP. These particular 6 hours that I'm trying to take here might not be really useful there. The logarithms and then trigonometry. There are the three kind of areas that I'm covering, and if you're on the plus, make sure you block these particular alternate days and you are right out there to attend these particular lectures. Right, so that brings us to the kind of end of the discussion. If you have liked it, subscribe so that whenever I have a lecture scheduled, you will get to know about it. So like it and share it with others as well, so that many more get benefited and it would be fruitful to many. I'm hoping that you are kind of enjoying it. You can always put your put your brief comments into the comment section, because live chat might not make sense because this lecture may not be going live. So therefore, you can put it in the comments there. So how you enjoyed this particular lecture, so that I will also read some of your comments. I will be able to understand so how we can plan for the next 40-50 days of our time with respect to CAT 21. All right, make sure all of you kind of like it and you kind of comment it. That would, I will come back and read, and that would be useful for our further learning. So there we go. So I'm hoping all of you enjoyed this particular video. I will see you in my next video. Bye till then. Stay blessed. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.